in additional profits per car. Consumer Awareness Guide makes you an author, makes you an expert. Any of you guys ever seen one, what it looks like? Consumer Awareness Guide is maybe the 9 keys to buying your next car, or Exposed, 8 things you should know before you buy your next car. Whatever that kind of headline is, that's remarkable marketing. It's not about advertising, it's about positioning you as the expert. It's about educating the consumer and making you the expert. And I've got dealers around the country, even dealers right here in the Carolinas, who use those and say, people leave, everybody who leaves gets one, a consumer awareness guide. And many of them bring those guides back when they buy that car. Does it work every time? No. Does it ever work? Yes. How cool is that? So what's the value of a single idea? One more idea for you. What does it mean? Where does it take you? The cool part is you don't know yet. Here's what I'll say to you guys in closing this session. Most of you don't know what you're worth in this marketplace. You need to have somebody else who believes bigger in you than you do in yourself. And that's one of the things that we do collectively as a group, is encouraging one another. How many of you guys need a little encouragement once in a while? In Las Vegas, any of you guys ever seen Danny Gans? Danny Gans, Entertainer of the Year for like 10 years. Until Celine got to Las Vegas, he was the Entertainer of the Year for 10 years. And that was his big dream beyond playing professional baseball. And when he got hurt, he had to get a new dream. So his dream was he wanted to be a performer in Las Vegas, wanted to be a headliner. And one day he got the opportunity for the meeting, the big presentation, to meet with Steve Wynn in Las Vegas. So he's ready. He's thought about it. He said, man, I'm going to ask for like a 4, maybe a 5-year deal. And I'm going to say it's got to be worth $1 million a year for me to be the guy, be the man in Las Vegas. That was his dream. He thought that was big. So he goes in, sits down, Steve Wynn's office, and Steve cuts right to the chase. He said, Danny, I've watched you for a long time. I believe you're the guy that we need in our hotel, in our casino. We've got big plans for you. What's it going to take to do the deal? Danny can hardly believe it. Man, the guy just laid it right on you there. Yeah, I mean, can you even say that? Can you even say $1 million when you're in that kind of a situation? You guys need to look in the mirror and practice saying, it costs $1 million. And then when you have to tell them the real price of the car, it'll be easy. Danny hadn't practiced that. But here's what it came down to. Asking for that $1 million. I think it ought to be worth at least $1 million is what he had said in his mind. So he manages to say to Mr. Wynn, well, how long are we talking about? He said, I believe we're talking about not 4 years or 5 years, as Danny thought, but 10 years. A 10-year deal in Las Vegas. Wow, it's him as the headliner. And Danny says, man, can you believe it? That's $10 million. And before he knew it, he just blurted out, it's going to take $10 million. And Steve Wynn thought for just a second, and as leaders often do, made the decision fairly quickly. Done. I'll have the paperwork drawn up and brought to your room tonight. And before Danny could hyperventilate or pass out on the floor, he got out of there. Went to his room. And that night when they brought the papers to his room, yes, it was a 10-year deal. And yes, it was $10 million. But what shocked Danny Gans was the papers that he signed that night wasn't for $10 million for 10 years. It was for $10 million a year for 10 years. $100 million. It's a true story. Ladies and gentlemen, captains of enterprise, I'm here to tell you, you don't know what you're worth in this marketplace. You don't have any idea what you're worth to this marketplace. This country and this marketplace needs you to be better than you've ever been. They desperately need it. And that's my challenge to you, that you go out and find a way to give them just that. Thanks for letting me be with you today. I'm Michael Roy.